Innocent people posing as prisoners, risking their safety and sanity to shine a light on alleged corruption and violence. How one sheriff is using their stories to clean up the system. Here's Nightline anchor Juju Chang.
So this is where I lived.
This is where Ashleigh spent 2 months locked up.
My heart is racing. I'm nervous, for sure.
Indiana's Clark County Jail.
I definitely didn't sleep well. The first night, I don't feel like I ever really slept soundly while I was here.
Enduring fear, deprivation, and shocking proposals from other inmates.
Yes. They offered me clothes right away, which I was like, oh, that's really nice. How great. They wanted to see me change. There were many times I was offered, to join in with someone who was, having sex.
You were sexually harassed?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was all her choice. You see, Ashleigh is not a criminal.
Grab a little hairbrush, then.
She left her husband and new baby at home.
Clean out his ears.
To go behind bars for A&E's show 60 Days In.
Play nice.
Where innocent people serve real time for fake crimes. Fending for themselves in a population that includes volatile, sometimes violent criminals. All to help expose what really happens inside the once notorious county jail. This is Sheriff Jamie Knowles' jail.
These are the temporary holding cells.
When he took over in 2014, Knowles says it was riddled with corruption and violence.
Stuff was getting smuggled up under the trees.
Drugs were rampant inside. And he was determined to stop it.
So this is intake.
All the doors that you see around are psych patients, are suicidal patients, are more serious offenders.
So he took a drastic step, opening up his jail to the prying eyes of A&E's cameras.
Tell me about the naysayers. How many people said, Sheriff, you're crazy?
I had a few people tell me that, and I thought about it myself in the very beginning, because I've got to take the good with the bad. There was a lot of bad inmate behavior and officer behavior, where still at the end of the day, I'm ultimately responsible for that.
Crime and misconduct at the hands of prison staff is on the rise as well, increasing 90% in 10 years.
You can see what this guy has in his deck of cards.
Sheriff Knowles says A&E's new high-powered cameras, which he gets to keep, helped pinpoint his jail's vulnerabilities, from drug dealing to allegedly corrupt guards. And he is cleaning house.
How many guards did you fire?
Between the 2 seasons both, I think we're about 15 total that left, resigned.
That's like a third of your staff, your guard.
And that wasn't easy, but the bottom line is, and I told him coming in, I said, hey, if you're doing illegal activity, I'm going to personally arrest myself and walk you into the jail.
Participants on the show feed information they learn on the inside.
Drugs.
Raw sewage. They treat us like animals in there.
Back to the sheriff and his deputies.
I'm in a pod with so many drugs.
The intelligence the sheriff gathers from participants like Ashleigh is invaluable.
The point of you guys being in jail, volunteering to be in jail, is to be the sheriff's eyes and ears inside these pods. What did you report back to him?
There were definitely guards that crossed a line. Then there were guards that were amazing who, helped me through my time here.
In the past, Ashleigh struggled with alcohol and drug addiction.
My alcoholism became life or death. I ended up overdosing on alcohol and cocaine.
She's volunteering to give up her freedom, in part, she says, to help others, coming face to face with what her life could have been.
I was in such a vulnerable place. Being here, being away from any sort of comfort that I had, being away from my family, my son, I was very emotional.
She's been sober for 4 years, but jail will be the ultimate test.
How you feeling?
Not ready to leave yet.
I threw myself back into a fire that I had worked so hard to pull myself out of.
Ashleigh thought she knew what to expect on the inside. Her husband, Zach, took part in season 1.
Everybody uses the same toilet?
It's a metal toilet. There's no lid, so you're sitting straight on the metal.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like Zach, she was compensated for her time behind bars, but nothing prepared her for her first night in.
It's cold, it's concrete, it smells bad. People don't shower.
It's an assault to the senses.
It's a rough place to be.
How many times during the process did you think, I'm not going to make it?
There were several times where I felt like I had reached my breaking point and that I needed to be done and I needed to go home to be with my baby.
And even though Zach encouraged her to do the show,
You sound like you don't have anything else to talk about, so I'll just let you go.
it's a big strain on their marriage.
This has not been an easy process, I think, for either one of us. I'm used to him being in the military and leaving and going on a mission. The roles were reversed for the first time ever.
Pushing Ashleigh to a breaking point.
I'm fighting sobriety left and right, and my husband's out in Vegas and New York drinking.
To him, this is like a cakewalk. He doesn't have much empathy for me.
It is real-life drama like this
I hate you.
that's made 60 Days In a smash hit for A&E. ABC News chief legal analyst Dan Abrams
Welcome to 60 Days In, The Aftermath.
hosts the reunion show.
What makes this show so compelling is that real, authentic people are going to a real, authentic jail where real, horrible things can happen.
There are always skeptics who see the show and say, this can't be real.
This is not a reality show. This is reality.
Were you surprised that basically it became a hit show?
To me, it never was about that. It was how many more people can we touch, what can we learn.
But if we work together...
Thanks in part to the show, the sheriff tells us there is now better training for prison guards and more programs for the real prisoners behind these bars.
I just recently came back. It seems to run a little smoother.
But when you say things are running smoother, what do you think?
It's not too much about, this guard's doing this or this guard's favoring this or whatever else. Everybody just seems to be getting the same type of treatment.
But it's not just the jail that's benefiting. Ashleigh says she's taking away a few life lessons as well.
Regardless of how many mistakes people make, we're all still human at the end of the day.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in Jeffersonville, Indiana.